Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Boicova-Wynants. I'm an IP lawyer and IP strategy consultant. In my post on LinkedIn this week, I looked into the topic of personality rights in the age of AI. This topic is vast, and there are more questions than answers. So today, I have for you a curious podcast, generated based on a large number of different sources. The podcast is curated by me and generated in Notebook LM. Enjoy!
Okay, so get this. Imagine a world where there's like a digital you out there, created by AI,
Right.
not just like an avatar, but a replica that can act and speak, even think like you.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of creepy, right?
It is a little bit, yeah.
But it's not sci-fi anymore. It's like this legal headache that's brewing right now.
Yeah, and it's fascinating what's happening right now is that AI is getting so good at mimicking us that it's raising this like fundamental question of who actually owns a digital double of a person.
Right.
Especially one built from things that are already public.
Totally. And that's what we're diving into today, the wild west of AI digital doubles and personality rights.
Exactly.
And we've got legal journals and court cases, tech articles, like a real mix to see all sides of this.
A good mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, we know about copyright for like songs and books, but what about like you? Your voice, your face, your whole vibe?
Yeah.
Can someone just grab that and make a digital puppet?
Exactly. So first things first, what exactly are personality rights?
Ooh, that's a good question. So think of it as protection for anything that makes you you.
Okay.
Your name, your image, your voice, even catchphrases.
Interesting.
It's all covered.
Okay.
The idea is you have the right to control how those are used, especially if someone's trying to make money off of them.
That makes sense. So like that time, Anil Kapoor, the Bollywood actor, sued companies for using his face on like unauthorized ringtones and GIFs.
Yes.
That's a personality rights case, right?
Exactly. That case was a landmark win for celebrities in India.
Wow.
It really reinforced the idea that like your identity has value, not just for your privacy, but for potential earnings too.
Right. And it's not just about money, right?
No.
Remember that deep fake incident with Alia Bhatt?
Oh, yeah.
Someone made a video of her making like really offensive gestures.
Uh-huh.
It was totally fake, but it shows how damaging this tech can be, even without like the commercial intent.
Absolutely. And the tech is only getting more realistic. Those deep Tom Cruise videos online.
I've seen those.
They're shockingly good.
Yeah.
You almost can't tell it's not him.
Yeah.
They're using deep neural networks and sophisticated face-swapping tech.
Oh, wow.
It's mind-blowing,
but
also terrifying.
Yeah, the line between real and fake is getting seriously blurry.
It is.
And our sources say even social media moderation is struggling to keep up.
They are, yeah.
Apparently, that big deepfake detection challenge only managed 65% accuracy.
Yeah, which is worrying because one article mentions a website that used AI to create this whole fake interview with Michael Schumacher.
Wow.
And his family is supposedly looking into legal action.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, where does copyright law even fit into all of this?
Right.
Like using someone's work to train an AI.
Yeah.
Is that different from just straight up copying it?
Right. There's this whole debate about transformative use, particularly with AI art.
Okay.
Like if an AI creates something new inspired by an existing work, is that infringement or a whole new thing?
Right.
It's tricky.
It's getting complicated. And what about the artist's right to control how their work is used ethically?
Yes.
Even beyond just the money aspect.
Right. That's the moral rights argument.
Okay.
Which is definitely gaining traction. But one source pointed out something really interesting.
What's that?
UK copyright law actually grants ownership of AI-generated work to the person who made the AI.
So the programmer.
Yes.
Not the artist the AI is mimicking.
Exactly. It's a whole different approach, and it makes you wonder if other countries will follow suit.
Yeah.
It really highlights how much uncertainty there is around this whole issue.
It's crazy.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's like the Wild West out there. So how do we even begin to untangle this mess? What about this idea of personality licensing I keep seeing pop up?
Yeah. It's definitely one of the hottest topics right now.
Yeah.
Basically, it's the idea that individuals could have more control over how their digital doubles are used commercially. Like imagine being able to license out your AI likeness for specific purposes.
Kind of like how musicians get royalties for their songs.
Exactly. It would give individuals a way to monetize their personality in this new digital landscape. We even have a real-world example. Amitabh Bachchan, the Bollywood legend, actually sold the rights to his voice to Amazon for their Alexa devices.
So it's already happening.
It is.
But what about actors who are worried their digital doubles will take their jobs?
Right.
I mean, why hire the real person when you can just get the AI to do it for cheaper?
Yeah, that's one of the big concerns that the Screen Actors Guild is raising in their protests.
Right.
They're fighting for more control over how their likenesses are used, especially in the context of AI.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's their livelihood on the line.
Yeah.
But what about regular people?
Right.
Like, could some company just scrape my social media and create a digital me to, like, shill products without my permission?
That's a huge concern, and it gets to the heart of this whole ownership debate. Who owns the rights to a digital double created from multiple public sources?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
If it's all, like, public information, does that mean it's fair game?
Not necessarily. Some legal experts are arguing that even if the data is public, individuals should still have some say in how their digital identities are used, especially when AI can create such realistic and potentially misleading replicas.
It feels like this is going to be a major legal battleground in the years to come.
Absolutely. And it's not just about legal frameworks. It's about ethics, too.
Yeah.
Do we want to live in a world where anyone's digital double can be used for anything without their consent?
Okay, but then how do we strike a balance? We don't want to stifle innovation,
Right.
but we also need to protect people's rights.
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
One idea that keeps coming up is this concept of shared ownership, especially when an AI draws from a vast amount of public data.
Shared ownership.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone whose data was used to create the AI persona would have some kind of stake in it.
It's a radical concept, but it reflects the fact that these AI creations aren't just the product of one person's work. They're built on the collective contributions of many, often unknowingly.
That really makes you think about how authorship is changing in the age of AI.
It is. And it's not just about who owns the rights.
Right.
It's about who benefits.
Mm.
Could there be a system where people whose data contributes to the creation of an AI persona receive some kind of compensation, almost like a digital royalty?
That would be pretty wild. Imagine getting a check because your Instagram selfies help train some AI model.
It sounds far-fetched, but it's a conversation that's starting to happen. We need to start thinking outside the box if we want to create a fair and equitable system for managing these digital identities.
It's clear this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
There are so many layers to this whole digital double dilemma.
There are. And it's not just a theoretical problem anymore. It's
Yeah.
happening right now.
Yeah.
Remember that case in India involving the actor Sushant Singh Rajput?
Yeah.
His father tried to prevent a film based on his son's death, arguing that personality rights should be heritable.
Yeah, that was a big case.
Mhm.
So what happened? Do personality rights actually extend beyond death?
The Indian court actually ruled against the father, stating that those rights died with the person. But it raises a whole other set of complex questions about postmortem privacy and controlling your digital legacy.
It's like even after you're gone, your digital self can live on.
And potentially be used in ways you never intended or approved of.
Like that documentary about Chef Anthony Bourdain that used AI to recreate his voice.
Yes.
That sparked a lot of controversy.
It did. And it highlights how this technology can be used to blur the lines between life and death in a way that's both fascinating and unsettling.
Okay, so we've got this whole legal and ethical quagmire.
Yeah.
But what about the rest of the world? Are other countries dealing with these same issues?
They are. It's a global phenomenon, and there are different approaches emerging. China, for instance, has been very proactive in upholding personality rights in AI-generated content.
Really? What have they done specifically?
They've been particularly focused on cases involving voice cloning. They've recognized that an individual's voice is a unique and vulnerable aspect of their identity and deserves special protection.
It sounds like they're taking a pretty strong stance on this.
They are. And in Europe, the EU is also grappling with these issues. They've got their General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, which provides some safeguards for personal data used in AI, but it doesn't explicitly address the ownership or licensing of digital doubles.
So they're playing catch up a bit.
In a way, yes. But they're also actively looking into how to update their laws and regulations to keep pace with AI. In fact, the European Parliament is currently investigating how to protect data and intellectual property rights in AI development.
It sounds like they're really trying to get ahead of this.
They are. They're asking some tough questions about transparency, accountability, and the potential misuse of this technology. It's encouraging to see that these conversations are happening on a global scale.
It's fascinating to see how different cultures are approaching this. Like, are some countries more protective of individual rights than others?
It's definitely something to watch. What's clear is that there's no easy answer, It's a complex interplay of like legal frameworks, cultural norms, and this rapidly evolving technology.
So where do we go from here? How do we navigate this like brave new world of digital doubles and AI-generated identities?
That is the million-dollar question. One thing's for sure, though, we can't just sit back and wait for the technology to dictate the terms.
Right.
We need to be proactive in like shaping the future we want.
So what can we actually do about it? Are there any concrete steps we can take to protect ourselves and our digital identities?
Absolutely. One source suggested that we need to start thinking more broadly about what even constitutes like persona in the digital age.
Okay.
It's not just our names, faces, and voices anymore.
Right.
It's about the unique combination of characteristics that make us identifiable online.
Yeah.
Our style, our humor, our creative output, our entire digital footprint.
So it's not just about protecting our physical likenesses, it's about protecting our digital essences.
Exactly. AI is becoming increasingly sophisticated at capturing and replicating those subtle nuances that make us who we are.
That's pretty mind-blowing and a little bit terrifying, to be honest.
It is, which is why it's crucial to have like strong legal frameworks in place to protect those aspects of our identities. Some legal experts are even arguing that we need to reevaluate existing laws like the right of publicity, which traditionally focuses on the commercial value of a person's identity.
Right.
They believe it should also encompass the non-commercial use of digital doubles, recognizing the potential for emotional and reputational harm even when there's no like financial gain involved.
So like even if someone creates a deep fake of me doing something embarrassing but doesn't try to sell it,
Right.
that could still be a violation of my rights.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that the misuse of our digital doubles can have real-world consequences, even if they don't directly impact our wallets.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But how do we enforce these rights in a digital world where information spreads so quickly and anonymously?
That's one of the biggest challenges. One idea that's being explored is the use of blockchain technology to like timestamp creative works. This could help to verify authorship and make it easier to identify deepfakes and other forms of digital manipulation.
So like a digital fingerprint for our online identities.
Exactly. It could provide a way to track the origins and usage of digital content, making it more difficult to create and spread misleading or harmful material.
That's a fascinating idea, but it sounds incredibly complex.
It is, but it's just one example of the innovative solutions that are being developed to address these challenges. We need to be open to exploring all options if we want to stay ahead of the curve.
And it's not just about technology, right? It's about having open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of AI and its impact on our lives.
Absolutely. We need to be asking tough questions. What does it mean to be human in a world where digital doubles are becoming increasingly commonplace?
Yeah.
How do we balance the rights of individuals with the potential benefits of AI?
These are questions that will continue to challenge us for years to come.
They will. But it's crucial that we engage with them now before the technology outpaces our ability to understand and control it.
So where does this leave us, the listener?
It leaves us at a crossroads. We have the opportunity to shape the future of AI and how it interacts with our identities. We can choose to be passive observers or active participants in shaping a world where technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
That's a powerful message. So what can our listeners do to be more proactive?
First and foremost, stay informed. The landscape is constantly changing, so keep up with the latest developments in AI and its implications for personality rights.
Don't just scroll past those headlines.
Exactly. Educate yourself and engage in the conversation. Share your thoughts, ask questions, challenge assumptions.
Be a critical consumer of information, especially in the digital realm.
And don't be afraid to advocate for your own digital rights. Contact your elected officials, support organizations that are fighting for ethical AI development, and make your voice heard.
It sounds like we all have a role to play in shaping this digital future.
We absolutely do. The future of our digital selves depends on it.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. A huge thanks to our expert for breaking it all down for us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And to all of you listening out there, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.